So on Friday, before Labor Day weekend, the now verifiably neutered FBI released their 302 report, which nobody read because we were all trying to forget that the country is in complete shambles and spend just one peaceful moment with the people that we love. But news junkies like me get the shakes when they take a day off, so I got to angrily mull over this report while tandem biking with my boyfriend. By the way, that was not his idea. I'm sure he would want me to tell you that. I got much of my information for this presentation from a Stefan Molyneux segment yesterday, which of course, as always, was fastidiously researched and well presented. So I've linked that below, and it includes much more information than I've included, and it's really worth a watch. Most of what I want to do today is to summarize the release because I believe that few of us were privy to the details since they strategically timed it before a holiday weekend, and I discovered so much information that I was unaware of in my research the last few days. So I really want to reach as many people as possible with this video because people seem to have lost interest in this news story, which has made Friday's revelations largely inconsequential in the news cycle. So I really wanted to address that. On Friday, the FBI released the redacted report, including notes in the actual testimony from Hillary's July 4th interview. Much of what was released we already knew about, like the period that the Clinton private server was used coincided with her term of Secretary of State. We also knew that personal email accounts were forbidden by the State Department to be linked to state mobile devices, so Clinton used a personal device. And we also knew that Clinton was offered a state email address at the beginning of her tenure, but she declined it. And then comes the pile of smoldering evidence that I was not aware of. Although that is not to say that it is all completely new information. The State Department developed a system in 2009 called SMART, whereby records are automatically electronically archived. So Hillary elected not to use the SMART system to preserve her emails due to concerns that the system would allow overly broad access to sensitive materials. The irony of this. So in order to uphold the requirement that these documents are archived, the only remaining method was to physically print and file. Obviously, this does not retain the metadata, and I'm sure Clinton knew this. During Huma's FBI interview, she claimed to be ignorant to the print and file mandate, saying that she thought that relevant emails would be subject to the Freedom of Information Act, and that any relevant emails would be captured and preserved by the state if any of the senders or recipients was using an official state email account. Let's think about this for a second. If there is only preservation of the emails that include one party with an official state account, this would omit all illegal dealings, which no one would be engaging in with their .gov account. It also wouldn't include any of the correspondence of foreign leaders cozying up to the Clinton Foundation, which is really what we want to see. It is the pay for play that we are really trying to uncover here. Despite Huma pleading ignorance, Clinton was required to surrender all archived emails that were supposed to be printed and filed. Clinton signed several documents outlining her understanding of the State Department's email archiving system, yet when she was required to provide the emails, she claimed that she was ignorant of the archiving system and that no one had ever given her any exit instructions. So the State Department asked for the emails on October 28, 2014. Clinton immediately enlisted her panel of attorneys to oversee the process of providing only work-related emails to the state. Only one attorney, Heather Samuelson, was tasked with defining what was or was not called a work-related email. Clinton was not consulted on specific emails for a ruling, ever. Samuelson, quote, reviewed the emails over the course of several months and completed it just prior to December 5, 2014, when the hard copies of the work-related emails were turned over to the State Department. Quote, using her laptop to conduct the review, Samuelson placed any work-related emails into a folder that she had created in Microsoft Outlook. Samuelson first added to this folder all emails sent to or from Clinton's personal email account with .gov or .mil email addresses. After that, Samuelson manually searched for government and foreign contacts by name. She also reviewed to, from, and subject fields, but did not read the content of each individual email. So this means a determination about whether or not an email was personal or work-related was made only based on reviewing the to, from, and subject fields in many cases, and not at all the content of the email. Then the attorney printed hard copies of what she had decided was work-related, as well as put them on a thumb drive that was given to the FBI. Clinton's staff deleted all of the remaining emails. A program called BleachBit was used to remove the emails from the attorney's laptops as well. You, like me, might be thinking, well, what about the original server? What about the original server? In 2013, the Clinton emails were loaded onto a Mac and a thumb drive from the original server with the intent for archived emails to be kept in Hillary's residences. The archiver apparently forgot to do this, but was reminded a few months later after seeing the laptop. Then the archiver tried to transfer the files off the laptop and couldn't do it, so it was shipped through FedEx or other snail mail to another associate who attempted to transfer the emails to another server. This associate transferred all of the Clinton email content to a Gmail address that he created, then downloaded all of the original email content from the Gmail account into another archive on the new server. Then the emails were deleted from the laptop and the Gmail account. This associate then shipped the original laptop to another Clinton associate, but they claim it was lost in the mail. The location of the original laptop and thumb drive are still unknown. 17,448 emails now have been found that weren't provided by Hillary Clinton. She used 13 mobile devices and 2 known phone numbers that were associated with Clinton email. The Department of Justice did not recover these 13 devices. Their locations, like the original laptop and thumb drive, are also unknown. 2 BlackBerries were turned over that were barely associated with Hillary Clinton's personal email. Perhaps the most troubling revelations from the release involve Hillary's memory and health. During the FBI interview, Hillary asked if paragraphs led by C were as such because of alphabetical listing. Obviously, C is going to indicate confidential, which is apparent to even a layperson, let alone the Secretary of State. I personally think she's lying about this, but if she is not, that might even be a worse problem. We already knew that in December 2012, Clinton suffered a concussion and then around the new year had a blood clot. But I did not know and recently discovered that based on her doctor's advice this time, she could only work for an hour or 2, and several notes were made about helping her because she could not recall basic daily briefings. During the FBI interview on July 4th, she could not recall issues related to her server over 39 times. First, we know that there was serious intent and collusion involved. Since the installation of the original server, Hillary skirted archiving by opting in for a print and file method, which she again was able to skirt by passing the responsibility to Huma, who she surely instructed from the very beginning to plead ignorance of the archiving system, so that assigning the task of this requirement was able to be explained through a bureaucratic blunder. Whoops. Not like all of these are like top-educated, super wealthy, lifelong politicians that certainly, no doubt in my mind, knew better. Similarly, we know that the actual original server and archive files were deliberately passed around in such a convoluted and poorly documented manner that they could never be retrieved. Huma, Clinton attorneys, the archivists, Clinton staff, and Clinton also did this with all of the other devices which were never recovered. Once again, they relied on the believability of these things getting lost in the shuffle. Clinton knew that this would not be a reliable enough method if she were exposed. She had to protect herself legally. She hired a team of top-notch, world-class scumbag attorneys, and she knew from the day she got her private server that in the event that the State Department exposed her, all of the emails would first be filtered through her paid-for, crony, piece of shit attorneys. Attorneys are scumbags as it is. Can you even imagine what a Clinton attorney must be like? So as I hypothesized in my previous Hillary video, it is now confirmed that Clinton attorneys, although there really was only one task with this, decided what was and was not a work-related email without even reviewing the body of the email. Clinton was surely able to hide her corrupt dealings, especially involving the Clinton Foundation, through keyword omission in the subject line. Further, the distinction between work and personal email was key to exposing her crimes. She just did such a beautiful job of playing this and playing us all. Sure, there was hubris involved, but it wasn't really hubris, was it? Because this just shows that she really is that good, that powerful, and that conniving to be able to get away unscathed with a crime of this magnitude. Now that I see all of this, of course she was never going to be reprimanded. I was so foolish to think that she was. She created too much doubt from the beginning and confusion. Look at all the layers these emails went through before ever even reaching the FBI. How many hands they were exchanged between. Then, with the devices being lost and backups having never been created or having been destroyed, she was just able to oil herself up enough from the get-go to just wiggle her way out of this. It was just masterful. I'm stunned. But she is a mere mortal with serious health issues, so I'm trying to decide how much of the cognitive difficulties from the 302 report with her memory loss was due to actual injury and what was just to save her own ass. So please let me know what you think about in the comments. I'm interested in hearing your opinions about this. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye. The State Department? I suck at this.